The United States just announced a massive visa restriction affecting 75 countries worldwide. If you're planning to study, work, or immigrate to America, this could change everything. Is your country on the list? Stay until the end, because what I'm about to reveal might shock you, and it could affect your entire immigration journey. Welcome back to Immigration Fresh Updates, where we bring you the latest news that impacts your dreams of living in the United States. Today, we're diving into something urgent, a new U.S. visa ban that's creating waves across 75 countries. Whether you're a student hoping to study in America, a professional seeking better opportunities, or someone dreaming of reuniting with family, this matters to you. In this video, I'll walk you through what this ban really means, which countries are affected, why this is happening, and most importantly, what you can do about it. Don't skip ahead. Every second counts because your future plans might depend on understanding this fully. Let's get started. Coming in at number 7, we have several North African countries facing increased visa scrutiny. Nations like Libya, Sudan, and Somalia are experiencing tighter restrictions, particularly for tourist and business visas. Now, before you panic, let me explain what's really happening here. The U.S. government has cited security concerns and challenges in verifying background information from these regions. But here's the reality. This doesn't mean the door is completely closed. If you're from North Africa, you still have pathways. Student visas, especially F1 visas for universities, remain accessible if you can demonstrate strong academic credentials and financial stability. Many students from these regions successfully enter the U.S. every year by showing genuine educational intent and ties to their home country. The key is thorough preparation, complete documentation, clear purpose, and evidence that you plan to return home after your studies. Family-based immigration also continues to process, though with longer wait times. If you have immediate relatives who are U.S. citizens, that sponsorship still carries significant weight. Employment-based visas, particularly for specialized skills in technology, healthcare, and engineering, are still being approved. The U.S. needs talented professionals, and if you can prove your expertise, your chances remain strong. Yes, there's additional scrutiny, but with patience, proper documentation, and honest intentions, North Africans are still building their American dreams. Don't give up. Just prepare better. At number 6, we're looking at Central Asian countries including Turkmenistan, Tajikistan, and Uzbekistan. These nations face moderate visa restrictions, primarily affecting tourist and temporary visitor categories. The main concern cited by U.S. authorities involves challenges in passport security and information verification systems. But let's be clear about what this means for you. If you're from Central Asia, your path to the United States isn't blocked, it's just more carefully monitored. Student visas remain one of the strongest options. American universities actively recruit talented students from this region, especially in STEM fields. If you have strong academic records, standardized test scores, and can demonstrate financial resources, your F1 visa application stands on solid ground. Thousands of Central Asian students are currently studying in the U.S., and you can join them. The H-1B visa route for skilled workers is also viable. If you possess expertise in software development, data science, medicine, or engineering, American companies are willing to sponsor you. The key is finding an employer who sees your value and is willing to navigate the process. Family reunification continues as well. If you have siblings or parents who are U.S. citizens or permanent residents, those petitions are still being processed. Yes, processing times might be longer. Yes, you'll face more interview questions. But the opportunity hasn't disappeared. Central Asians are resilient, hardworking people with incredible potential. Prepare your documents meticulously, be honest in your interviews, and demonstrate your genuine intentions. Your American dream is still within reach. Number 5 on our list includes several West African nations such as Nigeria, Ghana, and Cameroon facing increased visa denial rates, particularly for B1, B2 visitor visas. Now, I know this sounds discouraging, especially for Nigerians who represent one of the largest African immigrant populations in America. But hear me out. There's still tremendous hope. The issue isn't about your country's people. It's about overstay rates and visa compliance statistics. U.S. consular officers are instructed to scrutinize applications more carefully from countries with higher historical overstay numbers. However, this doesn't apply equally to all visa categories. Student visas for West Africans actually have decent approval rates when applications are properly prepared. American universities value the academic excellence and diversity that West African students bring. Moreover, the H-1B and employment-based pathways remain strong for skilled professionals. West Africans working in healthcare, particularly nurses and physicians, are in high demand. Tech professionals with proven experience are also finding success. The Diversity Visa Lottery, the DV Lottery, remains available for eligible West African countries, offering thousands of green cards annually. Family-based immigration continues processing. If you have a U.S. citizen spouse, parent, or child, those petitions carry significant weight. The key to success from West Africa is demonstrating strong ties to your home country. Property ownership, stable employment, family responsibilities, anything that proves you intend to comply with visa terms. Yes, the scrutiny is real, but so is the opportunity. West Africans are among the most educated immigrant groups in America. You belong in that story. Coming in at number 4, we have several Middle Eastern countries including Yemen, Syria, and Iraq experiencing significant visa restrictions across multiple categories. The political situation in these regions has led to what's often called extreme vetting, and I won't sugarcoat it. This is one of the toughest situations for applicants. But even here, pathways exist. For Syrian and Iraqi refugees, the U.S. Refugee Admissions Program still operates, though with reduced numbers and extensive background checks that can take years. If you have family already in the U.S. who came through refugee or asylum processes, family reunification petitions are still being filed. The process is slow and emotionally exhausting, but families are being reunited. Student visas from these regions face intense scrutiny, but aren't impossible. If you have acceptance from a reputable American university, demonstrate clear academic goals, and can show financial support, some applicants are succeeding. Academic exchange programs, particularly those sponsored by international organizations or U.S. government initiatives, provide alternative pathways. Special immigrant visas, SIVs, for those who worked with U.S. government agencies or military continue to be processed. If you served as a translator, contractor, or in another capacity supporting U.S. operations, this pathway remains available despite lengthy processing times. The journey is harder, the wait is longer, but people from these nations are still reaching America. Your resilience has carried you through unimaginable circumstances. Don't let bureaucracy be what stops you now. Keep documentation perfect, stay patient, and keep hope alive. At number 3, we're looking at certain Caribbean countries, including Haiti and parts of Central America, facing increased visa restrictions. This might surprise some viewers because of geographic proximity, but the primary concern involves visa overstay rates and irregular migration patterns. Let me break down what this really means for Caribbean nationals. Haiti, in particular, faces significant challenges with visitor visa approvals. The denial rates are among the highest globally for tourist visas. However, family-based immigration remains the strongest pathway. Haitians with immediate relatives who are U.S. citizens, spouses, parents, or children, continue to receive immigrant visas. The wait times are long, sometimes years, but the petitions are being processed. For other Caribbean nations experiencing restrictions, student visas provide viable alternatives. Caribbean students historically perform well academically in American institutions, and universities recognize this. If you can secure admission and demonstrate financial capability, your student visa chances are reasonable. The H-2A and H-2B temporary worker programs also continue to operate for agricultural and seasonal workers from Caribbean nations. Temporary Protected Status, TPS, has historically been available for certain Caribbean countries experiencing natural disasters or political instability. While TPS doesn't lead directly to a green card, it provides legal status and work authorization, which can be leveraged into other pathways. The Caribbean community in America is strong, vibrant, and growing. Cultural connections, diaspora networks, and community organizations provide support systems that make immigration journeys more navigable. The path might be narrow, but it's not closed. Stay informed, stay prepared, and stay connected to your community. Number 2 on our list includes certain South Asian nations, particularly Afghanistan and Pakistan, experiencing heightened visa scrutiny. Now, this is complex because South Asia also produces some of the highest numbers of successful H-1B visa holders and students in America. Let me explain this contradiction. For Afghanistan, the situation is particularly challenging following political changes. However, the Afghan Special Immigrant Visa Program continues for those who supported U.S. operations. Additionally, humanitarian parole and refugee resettlement programs are processing, albeit slowly. Afghan students who were already in the U.S. on F-1 visas have been able to maintain status and transition to employment authorization. Pakistan faces increased scrutiny primarily for visitor visas, but educational and employment-based immigration continues strongly. Pakistani students are among the top international student populations in American STEM programs. The pathway from F-1 student visa to OPT, optional practical training, to H-1B visa remains highly successful for Pakistani graduates, especially in technology, engineering, and healthcare fields. Family-based immigration for South Asians continues, though with extensive background checks and longer processing times. The key to success is complete transparency, thorough documentation, and patience with administrative processing periods that can extend for months. Employment-based green cards through EB2 and EB3 categories remain viable, particularly for those with advanced degrees or exceptional abilities. South Asians have one of the strongest success rates in American immigration when pursuing proper channels. The entrepreneurial spirit, educational achievement, and professional expertise of South Asian immigrants are valued. Prepare for longer timelines, more documentation requests, but know that the door remains open for those who qualify. And now, number 1, the region facing some of the most complex restrictions. Certain Eastern European countries including Belarus, Moldova, and parts of the Caucasus. These restrictions stem from diplomatic tensions, security concerns, and compliance issues. But here's what you need to know if you're from this region. Belarus faces particular challenges due to political situations, with visitor visas experiencing high denial rates. However, the pathway isn't completely blocked. Belarusian professionals in technology, science, and academia are still successfully obtaining employment-based visas. American companies, particularly in the tech sector, actively recruit Eastern European talent because of strong educational foundations and technical skills. Student visas remain accessible for those with strong academic credentials. Eastern European students have excellent track records in American universities, particularly in mathematics, physics, engineering, and computer science. If you gain admission to a reputable institution and can demonstrate financial support, your chances are reasonable despite additional scrutiny. The diversity visa lottery is particularly important for Eastern European nations as it provides a pathway independent of employment or family connections. Thousands of Eastern Europeans receive green cards annually through this program. Family-based immigration continues processing, especially for immediate relatives of U.S. citizens. Political asylum claims from these regions are taken seriously by U.S. immigration courts, particularly for those facing genuine persecution. The key is having well-documented cases with credible evidence. Eastern Europeans have built strong communities across America, from scientific researchers to business owners. Your technical skills, work ethic, and cultural contributions are valued. The restrictions are real, but so is your potential. Don't let fear stop you from pursuing legitimate pathways. Now I want to hear from you. Comment below and tell me which country you're watching from and whether your nation is affected by these restrictions. Let's support each other in the comments. Look, I know this information might feel overwhelming or even discouraging, but here's the truth. Restrictions create challenges, not impossibilities. Every year, thousands of people from restricted countries still achieve their American dreams through proper preparation, patience, and persistence. The key is understanding which pathways remain open for your specific situation and preparing your application flawlessly. Which country would you choose to immigrate from if you could? And more importantly, what's your next step? Subscribe to Immigration Fresh updates so you never miss critical information that could change your immigration journey. Your dream deserves a fighting chance. Stay informed, stay prepared, and stay hopeful.